Hello everyone. Today we are going to learn about the negotiation process in international trade. Business negotiation. Business negotiation, also known as trade negotiation, the process and behavior of negotiating the relevant conditions of commodity transactions between trading parties to reach a deal. In the process of negotiating international contracts for the sale of goods, there are generally inquiry, offer, counter-offer, and acceptance 4 stages. Among them, offer and acceptance are the 2 basic stages and the necessary legal steps for reaching a transaction and establishing a contract. Inquiry. 1. The meaning of inquiry. Inquiry refers to the behavior of a buyer or seller who intends to purchase or sell a certain commodity, and inquire about the transaction conditions from the other party. The content of an inquiry can involve the quality, specifications, quantity, packaging, price, and shipping conditions of a certain product, as well as requesting samples, most of which are inquiries about the transaction price. Therefore, in practical business, some people also refer to inquiries as inquiries. 2. Questions to be noted in inquiries. 1. Although inquiries do not have legal binding force, the parties involved still need to consider the necessity of the inquiry and try to avoid only inquiring without purchasing or selling in order to avoid losing business reputations. 2. Inquiries can be sent to several trading partners for optimal transactions, but should not be too many. Do not send them out simultaneously to avoid revealing of sales or purchasing intentions. 3. Inquiries should be concise, specific, and use appropriate language. There is no need to use overly polite words or phrases, and the other party's inquiry should be respected, whether it is for sale or purchase. It should be handled and responded to in a timely manner. 4. When making an inquiry, one should not only consider inquiring about the price of the goods, but also pay attention to inquiring about other transaction conditions, striving to obtain more comprehensive transaction information. 2. Offer. 1. Meaning of offering. Offer, also known as price or quotation, is legally referred to as an offer. It refers to the act of a buyer or seller, offerer, proposing various transaction conditions for buying and selling a certain item of goods to the other party, offeree, and willing to reach a transaction or enter into a contract according to these transaction conditions. According to the United Nations Convention on Contracts for the International Sale of Goods, hereinafter referred to as the Convention, any proposal to enter into a contract made to one or more specific parties, if its content is sufficiently definite and indicates the intention of the offerer to be bound by it once it has been offered, constitutes an offer. An offer can be made by either the seller or the buyer, known as a selling offer, and a buying offer respectively. The latter is commonly referred to as a bid. In practical business, an offer is usually made by one party after receiving an inquiry from the other party, or it can be sent directly without an inquiry from the other party. 2. A necessary condition for a legally valid offer. 1. An offer should be made to one, or more specific individuals to propose to a specific person, refers to specifying the individual's name or company name as the offeree in the offering. The purpose of proposing this requirement is to distinguish the act of offering from ordinary commercial advertising, and the distribution of product price list to the general public. 2. The content of the offer must be very definite. According to the provisions of the Convention, if the proposed contract specifies the goods and explicitly or implicitly determines the quantity and the price, or how to determine the quantity and the price, it is considered very definite. Any contract proposal that includes the three basic factors mentioned above can constitute an offer. If the offer is accepted by the other party, the sales contract is established. 3. Indicate the intention of the contract. The offer must indicate that the offerer is bound by the offer, once it is accepted by the offeree. If the offerer only negotiates with the other party on certain contractual proposals without any intention of being bound by them, then this proposal cannot constitute an offer. 4. Delivered to the recipient. The offer must be delivered to the recipient. According to the provisions of the Convention, the offer becomes effective upon delivery to the offeree. This requirement is commonly found in the laws of our country and countries around the world. If the offer is lost during transmission, and the recipient fails to receive it, the offer is invalid. 3. The validity period of the offer. The validity period of an offer refers to the period within which the offeree can accept the offer. An offer usually specifies a validity period, but the validity period is not a necessary condition for the offer. If the offer does not specify a validity period according to the provisions of the Convention, it is valid within a reasonable time. There is no unified and clear explanation for reasonable time internationally. Therefore, in practical business, when making external offers, the validity period of the offer should be clearly defined, and the matching hair disk, unless otherwise agreed by both parties, the recipient must immediately accept, and the effectiveness of the hair plate shall terminate at the end of the conversation. If the offeree does not express acceptance before the end of the negotiation, the offer will become invalid at the end of the negotiation. There are three common methods for determining the validity periods of offers. 1. Set the latest acceptance deadline. 1. The general requirement is to reply on a certain day or within a certain number of days, and the offeree shall reply within the prescribed period based on the time when the offeree expresses acceptance. The day of sending the letter or telegram, such as the offer is valid for 5 days. 2. The provision is based on the time when the response arrives at the location of the offerer, in order to avoid disputes caused by geographical differences, such as reply to our side within 5 days. 2. Establish a period of acceptance. According to the provisions of the Convention, the offerer, in fax or mail, established the acceptance period shall be calculated from the time of delivery or the date of issuance stated on the letter. If there is no date of transmission, it shall be calculated from the postmark date, offered by phone, fax, email or other rapid means, the period of acceptance conveyed to the other party, starting from the time the offer arrives at the recipient, such as a validity period of 4 days. 3. Unclear validity periods or vague regulations. If the offer does not specify the validity period and the method of communication for the response, a response can be given within a reasonable time. Generally is replied by letter, telegram, or telegram, and there is no unified standard in international practice. 4. Withdrawal and revocation of offer. 1. Withdrawal of offer. The withdrawal of an offer refers to the act of the offerer canceling an offer that has not yet been received by the offeree. The convention stipulates that an offer, including an offer, marked as irrevocable, as long as it has not yet taken effect. If the notice of withdrawal reaches the offeree before or at the same time as the offer is delivered, can be modified or withdrawn. Therefore, if the offerer makes an error in the content of the offer due to work mistakes, or wants to change their mind due to changes in market conditions or other reasons, they can use a faster communication method to deliver the notice of withdrawal or modification of the offer to the offeree before or at the same time as the offeree receives it, and then the offer can be withdrawn or modified. 2. Revocation of offer. The revocation of an offer refers to the act of canceling an offer that has already been received by the offeree. The convention stipulates that an offer received by the offeree may be revoked if the revocation notice is delivered to the offeree before the offeree accepts it. However, in the following two situations, the offer cannot be revoked. 1. The offer specifies a validity period or otherwise indicates that the offer is irrevocable. 2. If the offeree has reason to believe that the offer is irrevocable and has taken action in reliance on the offer. 5. Termination of offer. The termination of the offer, also known as the lapse of offer, refers to the disappearance of the legal effect of the offer. That is, the offerer is no longer bound by the offer, and the offeree loses the right to accept the offer. The offer is invalid in the following situations. 1. The offer has expired, and although no validity period has been specified, it has not been accepted within a reasonable time. 2. The issuer revokes the effectiveness of the offer in accordance with the law. 3. The offeree refused the offer. 4. The offeree returned the offer and made substantial changes to the content of the offer. 5. After the offerer made the offer, a force majeure event occurred, such as the government of the host country issuing a ban on the goods, or required foreign exchange in the offer. 6. Before the offer is accepted, the parties involved lose their legal capacity, such as death, bankruptcy, etc. 6. Precautions for offering. 1. When making external offers, the content of the offer should be as detailed as possible. 2. When making an offer, should careful consideration and reasonably specify the validity period. The validity period should not be too short, leaving the other party without consideration, nor too long, causing oneself to bear unnecessary obligations and risks. Generally speaking, the validity period of an offer depends on the type of product, market conditions, and transaction volume, various factors. For bulk commodities, primary products, and sensitive commodities such as grains, oils, non-ferrous metals, rubber, cotton, etc. The offer usually takes 1 day, and some may only take 2 to 3 days. Sometimes it's even stipulated that the other party must reply on the day of the offer or before a certain time on the same day. For some labor-intensive products, light industrial products, and daily consumer goods, the validity period can be 7 days, 10 days, or half a month. 3. Making an offer should be cautious and not blindly quote externally.